For 40 years, one manga has shown its readers the ending before the beginning and dared them to keep reading anyway. That manga is the 5-Star Stories, written and drawn by Mamoru Nagano. It began in April 1986 in KADOKAWA's monthly Newtype magazine, and in 2026 it celebrates its 40th anniversary, still ongoing after 19 volumes. Before this, Nagano was already famous as a mecha and character designer at Sunrise, working on Heavy Metal L-Game and Zeta Gundam. The 5-Star Stories grew directly out of those background designs. A 1989 animated film, directed by Kazuo Yamazaki, adapted its opening arc and introduced the series to a generation of anime fans. For decades on, Nagano is still telling this single, enormous story. The setting is the Joker star cluster, a sprawl of solar systems thousands of years in the future. Civilization has collapsed back into a quasi-feudal order of empires, dukes, and knights. But these knights fight inside towering machines called mortar heads, robots up to 40 meters tall. The machines are too complex for any human to control alone, so each is paired with a Fatima, a genetically engineered humanoid built for the battlefield, usually appearing as a beautiful young woman bound to a life of service. At the center stands Amaterasu, an immortal god-emperor, and Lachesis, the Fatima destined to be his bride. Around them, Nagano weaves wars, romances, betrayals, and dynasties across millennia. It is less a single plot than an entire mythology, told out of order, circling endlessly around fate. So why is this manga a legend? The answer begins with Nagano's art. On Heavy Metal L-Game, he pioneered mecha with an internal movable frame and armor layered over it like a skeleton, a design language that rippled through an entire generation of robot anime. In the 5-Star Stories, he pushed further, giving his machines elongated, sculptural, almost organic lines, and dressing his characters in elaborate high fashion. Japanese critics describe a constant tension in his work between beauty and power, decoration and function. The series is treated less like a comic than a body of design. In 2024 and 2025, a major museum exhibition toured Japan devoted entirely to Nagano's drawings. Among mecha fans worldwide, it carries an almost mythic reputation, frequently called one of the most ambitious science fiction comics ever attempted, even by readers who have never managed to find a copy. To understand it, you have to understand 1986. Newtype was a glossy new magazine riding the peak of Japan's anime boom, and Nagano filled it not with a normal serial, but with something stranger, a published timeline of the future. From the start, much of the saga's chronology was laid out in advance, so Japanese readers often already knew who would live, who would die, and who would rule, long before the scenes arrived. The pleasure was never suspense, it was watching destiny unfold. This is a story you sink into rather than solve. Nagano's deep love of European high fashion shapes every costume, and his world runs on a classical, sometimes deliberately old-fashioned code of knights and the women who serve them. Much of its texture resists translation, invented honorifics, fictional languages, dense in-jokes, and a tone of refined, melancholy decadence that feels closer to aesthetic literature than to a typical action comic. For an American reader, the easiest doorway is to imagine Dune crossed with a Renaissance fashion house, drawn with the obsessive detail of a Mobius comic. Like Frank Herbert, Nagano builds politics, religion, and bloodlines that span thousands of years. Like high fantasy, he leans on knights, fate, and prophecy. The barrier is real, the cast is enormous, the names are deliberately strange, and the story rarely moves in a straight line. But the core appeal is universal. This is a saga about love that outlasts empires, about beauty pursued to the edge of decadence, and about characters who keep their dignity even when the ending is already written. You do not read it to find out what happens. You read it to live inside one artist's impossibly complete imagination. Outside Japan, the 5-Star Stories has long been a treasure that was almost impossible to obtain. Nagano's own company, Toys Press, released English volumes years ago, but they were thin, partial, and quickly went out of print, trading hands among collectors at steep prices. The 1989 film, later issued on English DVD, became many Western fans' only window into the world. Yet its influence ran deeper than its sales. Nagano's design sensibility helped shape how robots and futures look across decades of anime. Now, on the 40th anniversary, there is finally a reason for new readers to start. A new official English edition has arrived from Titan Comics, presenting Nagano's pages in a faithful, collector-quality form for the first time in years. An official English edition is available from Titan Comics. If you love worlds you can disappear into, this is one of the deepest ever drawn. Subscribe for more legendary manga that shaped the medium, and tell us which classic we should explore next.